You're watching CBS7 News at 9 on the CW and live on the CBS7 YouTube channel with Alexandra, Macia, and Tom Teeper-Teller.
He meant everything to me. Everything. He was my best friend. He had so many people who cared and loved him. And I'll miss him so much.
That's Donna Chavez, who lost her husband when an alleged drunk driver hit and killed him last week. Coming up in just a few minutes, hear about his life and legacy and get tips on keeping motorcycles safe on the road. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Alexandra, Macia, and we start tonight with an update on the Madeline Pantoja murder case in Midland County. Her accused killer, Mario Chacon, had his first pre-trial hearing today. Chacon was arrested back in May for the murder of his girlfriend, Madeline. Today, we spoke with Chacon's attorney, who said that they filed several motions to the court. Those motions include claims of a lack of evidence, a lack of an autopsy report, and even a motion for the case to be taken to a jury trial. If the case does go to trial, that date is tentatively set for December 4th, later this year. But Chacon's attorney says there is still much to be determined.
There's a lot of information that's out there. 90 days from now, there could be new developments on a case like this.
The final pretrial hearing is expected to happen on October 12th. All the details on the search for Madeline Pantoja and Chacon's arrest are up on our website at CBS7.com. And all new tonight at 9, the Hobbs Police Department is investigating after a baby was found dead in a bathroom at the Covenant Health Hobbs Hospital. According to police, a 16-year-old was being treated at the hospital with her mother. Hospital staff found the baby dead in the bathroom of the 16-year-old's room. An autopsy will be done in Albuquerque, and police are still investigating. CBS7 will continue to update you as more information becomes available. And now we have an update on a story we've been following for over a year now. 55-year-old William Logsdon has been sentenced to 9 years in prison for a Ponzi scheme he built in Midland. Logsdon, a teacher and lacrosse coach, convinced members of his family and others in the community to invest in royalty interests for various oil, gas, and mineral projects in the Permian Basin. Their company, called National Royalty Group, or NRG, did not exist, and the money was used to pay for personal expenses. Logsdon ran the scheme with his mother-in-law and defrauded more than 20 people out of more than $2.1 million. Both Logsdon and his mother-in-law have to pay restitutions, and his mother-in-law was sentenced to 5 years in prison and 3 years of supervised release. And all new tonight at 9, the State of Downtown Odessa address was held tonight at the Copper Rose building. The annual event recognizes the downtown businesses and local community that work so hard to help Odessa grow.
So fortunate here in Odessa because as opposed to other towns around us, we've continued to grow. And things just like this downtown revitalization is part of the reason that I believe that we've continued to grow.
The State of Downtown Odessa address celebrates what downtown has accomplished and plans for the future.
We want to recognize the businesses that are downtown and the hard work that they've done to make Odessa grow.
Mayor Javier Joven spoke, as well as keynote speaker Katie Neeson. City Manager John Beckmeyer has a goal in mind for the area.
To make it a place where people want to go and spend time, not just to do business, but to enjoy, and again, to make it the heart of the city.
Businesses were also honored. Beckmeyer says in previous years, downtown had become run down, which is what makes this new effort to revitalize it so exciting.
Come downtown and see what all that has come in downtown. Look at the opportunities that still exist, how we can grow it more and more.
An executive director of Downtown Odessa, Elizabeth Prieto, says they not only host events, they also work on infrastructure.
Provide infrastructure grants and facade grants to help bring the businesses up to code.
Beckmeyer says they've been pushing for a brighter future for Odessa, and it starts downtown. Now for a story you'll only see on CBS7. On Friday, an Odessa man was riding his motorcycle when he was hit by 2 cars and died. His family is now speaking out about motorcycle safety. Ismael Martinez had a passion for riding bikes and motorcycles beginning as a teenager. Now that he is gone, his family has to readjust, and they want to remind people to be safe while riding so that this does not happen again. Odessa police say the most common cause for an accident is driver inattention, so it is important to be aware of your surroundings, especially for motorcycles.
Remember that not everyone's paying attention. Just always assume that other motorists are not paying attention. But it's so important, for regular vehicles, it's just important to be mindful of the motorcyclists. Always, make sure you give them the entire lane. Always look twice.
Martinez's family has spent the last week grieving and learning to live their new normal without him.
My brother was taken from me. A son was taken from my mom. He wasn't meant to go this way. He was supposed to live a long life, and just because some person just made a wrong choice, he took him from us too early.
To learn more about Ismael's life, you can visit our website at CBS7.com. And in your education news, Midland College's Pre-K Academy and Center for Teacher Excellence is finally complete. This program went from being taught in 4 portable classrooms of 68 students to a 2-story facility. The downstairs part has a Pre-K Academy, while the top floor has classrooms to teach Midland College students. Classes began on August 23rd, and staff say that it's been amazing so far.
I just am really excited about the fact that the students are learning upstairs, then they're going to come down and start learning with us, with our students. We have 3 right now that are about to start their student teaching with us next semester.
The goal of the Center for Teacher Excellence is to prepare more people to get into teaching and hopefully fulfill a need for teachers in West Texas. The Pre-K Academy can fit 296 kids, but since they only have 10 teachers, they aren't able to go full-time. They currently have 185 students and need 6 more teachers to be considered full. And the Ector County ISD Board of Trustees unanimously voted to extend the contract of Superintendent Dr. Scott Murray. Murray's contract was extended by 1 additional year and will now run through June of 2028. A release from ECISD listed some district-wide accomplishments that contributed to this extension, including having the highest graduation rate in over 20 years and earning the highest TEA rating in ECISD's history. And it's time to take a look at weather. Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller is here to tell us what we can expect. Tom?
Well, it's been a very nice evening out there. A few showers hanging on around Reeves County. Let's take a look at the West Texas view. West Texas view of the satellite and radar again. Seeing some of that shower activity. Pecos down towards Verhalen, the Balmorhea area, Saragossa. Dealing with a few showers this evening. Watching some thunderstorm activity to the north of Lubbock there. Rainfall amounts, well, they have been heavy up across the South Plains. 32 100s fell from earlier showers and thunderstorms in and around the Dryden area. And here's a look at Pecos right now with the showers off to the south as we are seeing temperatures again into the upper 70s now across the Permian Basin. Still a warm 87 in the Pecos vicinity. And those winds are a little bit gusty where we had some earlier showers, thunder showers, gust up to 39 in the Carlsbad area. But overall, though, things pretty quiet across the Permian Basin. Cool front arrives tomorrow. More isolated showers, thunderstorms on the way. We'll talk about that. Get you ready for your weekend, too, coming up next.
Thanks, Tom. The city of Andrews says that the water at Lakeside Park has been showing signs of blue-green algae bloom. The city also says they've received reports of dead fish at the pond. Officials note that this is actually not uncommon, especially after heavy rain. And the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and the city will closely monitor the water. Officials recommend that you do not touch the water or let your dog drink it for the time being. And you might want to grab your gloves and a shovel during Hunger Action Month. With a little extra water and patience, fruits and veggies like okra, sweet potatoes, melon, squash, and more can thrive here in West Texas. While the water aspect can raise the cost, growing your own food is often much cheaper. Gardening can be an accessible way to eat healthy, no matter your income.
It can be kind of hard going to the grocery store and seeing, all these fresh vegetables and the prices. So sometimes if we can grow our own, it can help offset that cost a little bit.
The Food Bank's garden programming isn't just part of Hunger Action Month. Every 3rd Saturday, the Food Bank highlights how to garden or to cook with the food you grow. And Hispanic Heritage Month starts tomorrow. Groups across Midland and Odessa are holding kickoff events all weekend and over the next 4 weeks. Tomorrow's Ahua's restaurant in Odessa will host a reception with dozens of Hispanic elders to discuss their experiences celebrating their heritage. Throughout this month, there will be events to acknowledge the contribution Hispanic individuals have made in Ector County.
The main thing is to learn their heritage. You know, we are Mexican Americans, we're Mexicans. Most of our families came from Mexico. We're maybe 5 generations, maybe at 6 at the most here in the U.S. now. But the thing they learn is maybe even I learn something new every year.
CBS7 and our sister station, Telemundo 20, will be covering events and stories all month long. And this Saturday is the annual Walk to End Alzheimer's in Midland. You're looking at last year's walk. This year's the walk begins at 10 a.m. with booths and speakers starting at 8:30 in the morning. You'll walk around the Scarborough Sports Complex and be sure to wear purple.
We need the community's help now more than ever to continue our efforts, because with the FDA approved treatment, it's the first of its kind that's able to actually treat the underlying biology of the disease for those living in the early stages of Alzheimer's or with early onset dementia.
Registration and donation information is up on our website at CBS7.com. And now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. See all of these stories and more by downloading our app or visiting our website at CBS7.com. And still ahead here on CBS7 News at 9, President Biden's son Hunter indicted on federal gun charges. The latest move from prosecutors when we return. And several businesses have joined the Peanut Butter Brigade. You can donate peanut butter at any of the businesses you see on your screen across Midland and Odessa. You can sign your business up for the brigade by emailing peanutbutter@cbs7.com. There is a major new development in the long-running federal investigation of Hunter Biden. President Biden's son was charged on Thursday with 2 counts of making false statements on federal paperwork when he purchased a gun in 2018 and 1 count of possessing the gun as a drug user. The indictment could put the case on track for a trial as President Biden's re-election bid gets set to move into high gear. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry has more from Washington.
Weeks after a plea deal unraveled, Hunter Biden was indicted on 3 federal firearms charges. The indictment, filed in federal court in Delaware by a special counsel overseeing the case, accuses the president's son of lying about his drug use when he bought a gun in 2018. Hunter Biden's defense attorney argued he did not violate the law. and remains protected by an immunity provision that was part of the failed plea deal. David Weiss, the special counsel overseeing the case, has indicated that tax-related charges could still be filed.
Part of what we heard from the judge when the plea deal fell apart is, why are you lumping these two things together this way? And I think bringing these charges separately also answers that question.
In a statement, Hunter Biden's lawyer accused the special counsel of bending to political pressure. The indictment comes as congressional Republicans launched a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden, focused in large part on Hunter Biden's business dealings.
An impeachment inquiry, wouldn't necessarily, in my opinion, or should not necessarily focus on Hunter. It needs to focus on Joe Biden and any laws that may have been broken.
House Republicans spent this morning talking about their illegitimate impeachment inquiry, which is nothing more than a partisan political stunt.
So far, no hard evidence of any wrongdoing by the president has been uncovered. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
If convicted of the gun charges, Hunter Biden could face a maximum sentence of 25 years in prison and fines of up to $750,000. However, nonviolent offenders who commit no other crime using the weapon most often do not receive lengthy prison time.
And back home in West Texas, we saw a few showers around the area today. Still some activity around and south of Pecos and Reeves County. We'll get you up to date on that and show you how another cool front's on the way for the start of the weekend. Up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look at the rainfall reset and show you how much we've seen so far this month. Now, it's only been 36 100ths, and all that fell this week. And for the year, we're still just a little over 2 inches of rain, but you can see we've got a lot of ground to make up. Usually this time of the year, we have about 10 inches plus in the rain bucket. So we're about 8 inches below where we should be, but a little more rain is on the way, but I don't think we're going to put a big dent in that deficit on rainfall anytime soon. Now, isolated showers, thunder showers, and even a rumble of thunder continue here around the Pecos area south towards Balmorhea and Saragossa. Everything else is winding down, and this has actually decreased in intensity as it does move across Reeves County. A couple other thunder showers there near Carlsbad, producing wind gusts up to 39 miles an hour. But now we've lost the daytime heating. A lot of this should be winding down, and it's moving west to east. That's the upper level flow right now. We do have a little bit of a trough of low pressure digging down across the Rockies, and that's what's going to swing that next front through and into our area coming up tomorrow into Saturday. So we do have the possibility of more scattered showers and thunder showers in our forecast right now. Still dealing with some around San Antonio over towards Gonzales, Luling, and across portions of southeast Texas too. Had some showers earlier today. A little thunder shower activity near Del Rio, and some across the South Plains at the present time. Now, a lot of this is feeding right along that old stationary front that continues to lag there in not moving all that much, I should say, from southeast Texas to south central Texas to far west Texas near El Paso at the present time. Temperatures today, well, if you were on the north side of that front, not too bad. Even 85 here in the Midland, Odessa area, not too bad in the afternoon. 76 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area ahead of the front, though. Plenty of 90s, triple digits. Houston, what kept them out of the 90s was off and on rain showers throughout the day. Now, the West Texas Futurecast shows a lot of what we're seeing to our north is going to stay off to the north and northeast, but we may see some isolated showers, thunder showers, first thing in the morning across portions of Howard County. But then tomorrow afternoon, things start to get active as that front and a disturbance start to roll into the area. So we may be dodging some scattered showers and thunderstorms for area football games. Rest of tonight, I think, will be relatively quiet. We can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm like last night. Better chance coming up tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours as temperatures warming up a few more degrees into the upper 80s. And your CBS7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast, well, is showing they're going to see a little bit of a change coming up with more scattered showers and thunderstorms with that front late tomorrow into Saturday. But then rain chances start to dwindle. Temperatures warm back up into the 90s, it looks like, into next week.
Still ahead, a federal judge has declared Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, illegal. We'll have the latest on what this means next on CBS 7 News at 9. Federal judge declared the latest version of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, illegal on Wednesday. But the judge stopped short of complete termination of the program. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Hundreds of thousands of dreamers, undocumented immigrants who were brought to this country as children, suffered a legal setback Wednesday. A federal judge in Texas declared the latest version of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, unlawful. But the judge stopped short of a complete termination of the program, allowing current DACA beneficiaries to be able to continue to renew their work permits and be protected from deportation while closing the program to new applicants. The ruling comes nearly 3 months since advocates celebrated the 11th anniversary of DACA and called for a path to citizenship. More than 500,000 immigrants are enrolled in the program, including Aurelie Hernandez.
I came to the U.S. when I was in grade school to reunite with my mom, my dad, and my little brother. That was more than 30 years ago. This year I will be 40.
Congress has worked on several bipartisan proposals to come up with a permanent legal solution for DACA recipients and other young immigrants, but there's been disagreement over the pathway to citizenship and overall efforts to address the nation's immigration crisis.
We clearly have a broken immigration system, and we need to fix it and do so in a bipartisan way.
The Biden administration is expected to appeal the latest federal ruling, and the case is likely to reach the U.S. Supreme Court. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The judge in this case issued a similar ruling in 2021 when he found the original Obama administration memo that created DACA in 2012 was illegal.
Well, we are going to be looking at more scattered showers and thunderstorms with a cool front that's going to arrive late tomorrow night into Saturday. So keep that in mind with area football games. And then for the weekend, start off with some scattered showers, thunder showers. I think those rain chances will decrease by Sunday. Then we'll be back to the heat and the dry stuff next week. So keep that in mind as we have a little more rain on the way.
All right, Tom, well, I got to say I'm loving this rain. Thanks for watching CBS 7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW.